My name's Guy Kestevan and I've been a professional bike and kit tester for nearly 25 years. And today, the bike that I'm live ride reviewing based on 6 months all-terrain riding experience is the Santa Cruz Stigmata CC. So first up, apologies to all the people who've been waiting for this review for ages since I first got this bike delivered as a test rig for SRAM Wide Range Force Axis. There'll be a separate review video on that, and there'll be a separate review video on the Zipp 303 Firecrest and Zipp 303S wheels. But anyway, the Stigmata. For a start, I've taken so long to get around to this review that this colour is no longer available unless you search hard. It's now in a fantastic British racing green or a kind of light sky blue. But the frame is unchanged. This is the Generation 3. It only comes in this CC version, so that's Santa Cruz's top of the range carbon composite. A lot of the development work for the composite on this bike came from, up front on the fork, because it's a rigid fork. Bizarrely, Danny McCaskill's Trials bike has a lot to do with the genetics of this fork. And then the way the frame is put together shares a lot with the Highball, their 29er XC hardtail. In terms of geometry, this is a 54, so it's a 71.5 head angle and a 74-degree seat, and then most of the frame sizes go to a 72-degree head angle. The smaller bikes also get a different fork offset, so just to decrease the fork overlap so you're not tripping up over your toes. So 56 through to 60 centimeter bike get a 45mm offset fork, and 52 and 54 centimeter bikes 50mm offset fork. Obviously, this is a pricey bike. Frame's currently in the UK £2099 with fork, and it's a 1600 gram frame set with frame and fork. So pretty light, but also still super tough. Lifetime warranted frame, and I've absolutely battered this bike in kind of terms of mountain bike style riding, fully loaded around King Alfred's Way, or just gooning about on single track, and it has not flinched at all. As you'd expect, 12 by 100mm front axle. There's room for a 45mm tyre in there. This is a 40 and it's a fat 40 on a fat rim, and you can see there's still tons of room in there, so you could probably squeak wider, but Santa Cruz asks you to stick to a 45, or if you're running 650B you can get a 53 in there. At the rear you've got these drop seat stays, but no bridge there or down there on this slightly asymmetric dropped chainstay, so loads of mudroom at the back there as well. And as you'd expect, it's 142 by 12mm rear axle as well. Flat mount brakes, standard rigged for 160, so you've got plenty of braking power. And as you can see, just little details there. You've got mudguard mount on the frame, really nice little hidden details. Same up front on the fork as well. You don't get any sort of cage mounts on the fork legs, and you don't get a top tube bag bosses, but I fitted one on there anyway for King Alfred's Way. I just gaffer taped it up to avoid paint rub. Nice little detail here, you get a proper external seat collar, so no worrying about an internal wedge slipping, or if it knackers, you're knackering the frame. If you do strip that out, then just pop another collar on there. Conventional 27.2mm round seat post as well, so nothing proprietary to worry about if you are in the back of the Beyond and you need spares. Same down the bottom here. Looking through the frame there, you can see it's a threaded bottom bracket, and under the filth here you've got a third set of bottom mounts, and of course the two inside the frame as well. So, and these cable guides can be configured for whatever setup you want, whether it's blanked out for wireless like these, or you can fit a drop the post cable in there, double chain set with standard cables, single cable. It's a band on front mech clamp, so you can get rid of that to make it super clean in a single ring setup. And all the plumbing inside is fully tubed and routed, so it's an absolute cinch to get your control lines through there if you need to. Eminently practical, lightweight, super tough, yet very, very responsive and lively bike. And that is what you're going to see and what I'm going to talk about on the live ride review. This bike isn't actually a stock Santa Cruz. Like I say, there is a version with SRAM Force axis wide range, but that comes with reserve wheels on DT Swiss 350 hubs and a different sort of finishing kit. Because there's a SRAM bike, it comes with the Zipp Firecrest wheels or Zipp 303S. I've ridden in both guises. I have to say those wheels are absolutely fantastic. Super light, super smooth, amazing ride feel. So if you can stretch the Firecrest, if you're thinking of doing a build up from a frame, those are a perfect match for this bike. The reserves will just be a little bit heavier because it's a slightly heavier hub set on there, and obviously not as aero, but to be fair, super tough, lifetime warranted, same as these wheels, both get a lifetime warranty, but a lifetime warranted reserve rim on there, and you know, really good quality kit throughout the rest of the bike. As a note, this one comes in just over 8 kilos without pedals on, so I would expect the Santa Cruz bike to be a shade heavier, but still, you know, really light for a double chain ring, super tough, lifetime warranted, all-rounder gravel cross adventure, whatever one you want to call it, bike. And those angles mean it's certainly not dull and super confident and short-footed, or whatever, however you want to express that. It's still an agile, responsive, that's what puts the life into it, puts the agility into it. And again, similarly with the ride quality, it's not super soft and docile and floated. I mean, it is very smooth with these wheels in, but it's still got a real spark under power. So if you want to put lighter wheels in, you want to G it up with lighter tyres, then this is a bike for the sharp end of riding. No problem racing gravel on this, racing cyclocross on this. It's not just a docile dawdler by any stretch of the imagination. Although interesting, this geometry is slightly taller and slightly shorter than the previous Stigmata, which was pretty much a pure race bike. Proper arse kicker, that one. So there's been some sort of softening and compromise in the approach in the way it rides, but still definitely at that sort of top end, competitive end of the gravel bike spectrum. And that's the thing, really, you know, this Stig was one of the first kind of all-rounder gravel bikes. It was one of the first cross bikes that were a little bit slacker, had bigger tyre clearances, had bolt-through axles on them. You know, when it first came out in 2007, the alloy bike took 35mm tyres, and then the first carbon bike in 2011 took 41mm tyres. So in a weird way, this is the less radical of all the bikes comparative to the rest of the gravel scene, because the rest of the gravel scene's caught up with it, and not through any fault of Santa Cruz, but they've deliberately positioned it as a super versatile but visceral and lively and responsive all-rounder, rather than kind of throwing it out to extremes. I mean, if you've watched some of my other gravel videos, you'll I'm not mentioning names, but you'll realise that that doesn't always go as well as it might seem. You know, these are pretty classic angles, and it rides like a classic bike. You know, it's actually quite hard to categorise because it does so many things so well. I mean, it does nothing incredibly well, just because the nature of the versatility. That's kind of, you know, almost the curse of being such a good all-rounder. But the one thing I will always say about every Stigmata I have ridden, I am gutted to see them go home from testing. And you know, that's a hell of a compliment when I get pretty much access to whatever I want to ride. These are the bikes that I'm always absolutely heartbroken when I have to box them back up. So thanks very much for the long-term loan, SRAM, but you know, I am going to miss her. So if that ended up being super long, I'll just throw that up as a separate Tech Talk round review, in which case, thank you very much to SRAM for lending me the bike for such an extended period. It's been brilliant to get to know the gear set and the wheels and the frame, and like I say, there are separate videos of those, which I will link to at the end of this edit. But thanks very much to my Patreon supporters for sponsoring the channel on a monthly basis with a small pledge. That gets them exclusive, extended and behind the scenes videos and a sort of higher level of conversation with me, I guess. But if you like what I'm doing with the channel, please consider joining them, because they're the ones who make unsponsored videos like this possible. Thanks to you for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please click the thumbs up button to get likes, because that gets the video shared more. Tell your mates about the channel, get them engaged, get them encouraged. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I've been Guy Kestevan on Guy Kes TV, talking about the Santa Cruz Stigmata CC.